Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class presented to you by 2Think1 Solutions Inc., aehelp.com, and gieltshelp.com. Streaming to you live from Central Europe. My name is Adrian, and today we are focusing on the reading section. We have a reading passage for you from our first test book. Hi, everybody joining in. Hi, Unforeseen Beauty. Hi, Amarwadi. Hi, Shamster Depp. Hi, Macpreet. Hi, Lena Naji. Get to see so many students in class right away. All right, everyone. You can use the code LIVE20 to get a 20% discount on our websites. If you have questions, send them to me, Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com, and I will gladly get back to you with an answer. And again, the websites are aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. We will use one of these websites in just a moment. All right, students, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's look at the reading. So today we are going to read this passage, Beautiful Animal, the Tiger. The title is Animals of Different Stripes. And as a first step, we will just read the passage just to get our reading fluency going, our English mind warmed up. And in fact, to read it, I will play the reading audio from our website. This is our academic website, aehelp.com. You can log in at the top. If you don't have the premium course, you can buy it by clicking the red button. Today we're using my account, so no worries. Once we're logged in, we have lots of audio CDs for our exams. And we're maybe the only company that actually gives audio for the reading section as well, just for practice. In the real IELTS exam, you don't have audio for reading. But at home, when you're getting ready for the exam, it is good to practice with audio for the reading. So this audio is CD2, track 6. You always see that in the books where you can find the audio. So I'm going to play this on my mic. So the goal here, students, is just listen and read together, okay? So we're listening and reading together. So read together, read aloud. Read aloud means so you can hear yourself read. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Siberian and Bengal tigers. The Siberian and Bengal tigers are two of the most well-known types of tigers. These tigers are very similar. In fact, they come from the same species, but they do have some important differences. These similarities and differences, while interesting to note, are vital pieces of information for the people in charge of the conservation of endangered species of tigers. Wildlife conservationists have to tell the difference between the two in order to keep accurate accounts of the respective populations. The first main difference between the two tigers is the location of their habitats. The Siberian tiger today lives only in the far northeast part of Russia, called Siberia, although it used to live as far west as Western Asia and as far east as parts of Alaska. One of the main reasons Siberian tigers do not live in China anymore is due to widespread illegal hunting there in the past. Bengal tigers live in a warmer, more southern climate. They reside mostly in India, but also in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. Bengal tigers are the most numerous of all tigers, with approximately 1,800 living in the wild worldwide. Siberian tigers, conversely, number only about 200 to 300 in their natural habitats. Both tigers are extremely popular zoo exhibits, which further contributes to the low numbers of both, especially the Siberian tiger. There have been efforts to breed Siberian tigers in captivity, and many of these efforts have been successful. However, the offspring are unfit to live in the wild. At the very least, these efforts allow zoos to maintain their exhibits without taking even more tigers out of the wild population. Siberian tigers on average are larger than Bengals. The average weight of a Bengal male is about 220 kilograms, while the weight of a Siberian averages slightly heavier. Amazingly, Siberian tigers can be as large as 320 kilograms. The lengths of these animals are also different. On average, male Siberian tigers have a nose-to-tail length of 3 meters, while the Bengal's length is slightly shorter. Their tail lengths, interestingly, are the same, averaging around 1 meter. One notable observation is that the farther north in the Bengal tiger's habitat, the larger the animals get. The average weight of a tiger in northern India is about 15 kilograms more than ones in southern India, where the average recorded weight is 220 kilograms. Another clear difference between the two tigers is the seasonal growth of a winter coat for the Siberian tiger. Since they live in northern Russia, which is an unforgiving climate in the winter, the ability to endure temperatures well below freezing is essential for survival. Unlike the Bengal tiger, which lives in more equatorial climates around India, where the temperatures are more or less the same year-round, the Siberian lives in a climate where the temperature can vary more than 50 degrees Celsius. Because of this, Siberians grow longer fur in the winter. For example, the fur on the Siberian's back in the summer measures about 16 millimeters, while in winter this length almost triples. The Bengal tiger has no need for such a long winter coat. The two tigers share many similarities, including diet and reproduction. Being carnivorous, other animals are the food supply for both. The types of animals hunted are various due to the different regions that are home to these tigers. Bengals eat animals such as wild boar, water buffalo, and chital, while Siberian tigers eat primarily wild boar, deer, and moose. Bengals and Siberians have very similar reproductive cycles. Both tigers reach maturity around 4 years of age, at which time they begin their mating rituals. The females are pregnant for about 15 weeks and give birth to between 1 and 4 cubs. Each of these cubs weighs about 1 kilogram and will be entirely dependent on their mother for the first 6 months of life. After that time, they begin their learning process, where they develop the skills they need to hunt and kill for survival. After 2 or 3 years, the cubs are ready to leave their mother and hunt independently. And at the age of 4 or 5, they reach sexual maturity, and so the cycle continues. One last difference between the two tigers is a significant one, especially for humans. Neither tiger hunts humans as part of their normal diet, but one of the two tigers is known to be a man-eater. The Bengal tiger, under the right circumstances, will eat humans. Bengals will attack humans in 2 cases. First, they will attack humans who interfere with the Bengal's hunting or feeding. Bengal mothers do not take kindly to people when they are feeding their cubs. Also, older Bengals will kill humans for food because humans are easy to eat, unlike wild boar, for example. Human skin is soft and fleshy, perfect for an old tiger with weak muscles and worn-down teeth. Siberians, however, will generally not attack humans unless they feel threatened. As such, records show that Bengal attacks are far more common than Siberian attacks.
Supernovae.
Okay, students, so that is a reading audio from our website for this reading passage. Now, let's ask each other some questions about this passage before we look at the passage questions to see how well you understood the passage. First question, what two tigers are we comparing here? What are the two tigers compared by the passage? And this is a good strategy when you're practicing for the IELTS exam at home, is don't just focus on the questions of the passage, but with your partners or with your class, generate your own questions and ask each other. Yeah, we're focusing on the Bengal and Siberian tigers, of course, and really hope everybody got that. Ayagjit, good to see a new member in this chat as well. All right, and where do Siberians live? Or more specifically, which country are Siberian tigers found in? And which country are Bengal tigers found in, according to this passage? Mad Bat says in my country. Programmer says in Russia. Yeah, so they are found in Russia. Yes, Siberia is in Russia, so it's a region, northern region of Russia. Yes, absolutely. Siberians are found in Russia. Yagjit, that's right. Bengals are found in India and Nepal. Which tiger is bigger and by how much? Which of the two tigers is the bigger tiger, or the heavier tiger, I should say? Which one's heavier? And by how much is it heavier than the other tiger? Lanthiu and Abhishek say it's the Siberian tiger. By how much? How much more? Shamster Depp says the Siberian is 320 kilograms versus the 220 kilograms of the Bengal tiger. That's right. So another way is by about 100 kilograms. That's right, Popomono. Popomomo. Yeah, that's right. So by about 100 kilograms, or another way to say it is by about 50%. So 50% heavier than the Bengal tiger. That's right. Okay, and which tiger has longer fur and why? Which of the two tigers has longer fur and why? Shamster Depp says it's the Siberian tiger because of winter. That's right, Mad Bat. It's logical. Okay. All right, here's another one. I'll start asking a little bit more difficult questions. Where are Siberian tigers no longer found because of overhunting? And what is the vocabulary or the word for illegal hunting of animals? That's right, it's in China. Caddy, DNB, very good. It's in China. So in China, and what is the vocabulary? Shamster Depp, Popomomo, very good. It's called poaching of animals. And they no longer live in China because of overhunting and poaching of these beautiful beasts. Definitely. All right. Why do Bengal tigers sometimes attack humans? Why do Bengal tigers sometimes attack humans? What are the two reasons given for Bengal tigers attacking humans and even eating them? Samster Depp says because of their soft skin, White Dove agrees that they need to eat. Humans' flesh is soft. Another good reason to exercise, people. Lift weights, work out, get big, strong, tight, tough muscles. You will not be in danger of being eaten by a Bengal tiger. You'll be just as hard-boned, meated as a wild boar. And also when they're feeding their cubs, Lena Naji. Yeah, so humans are soft to eat, yeah. And when they're feeding their cubs, they will also attack us. Absolutely. All right. What is the gestational period for a tiger? What is the gestational period for a tiger? How about that for a little bit of a tougher question? What is the gestational period for a tiger? Ooh, very good. Kamran, satisfying time. Some of you really paying attention. It was about 15 weeks. Gestational period. What's another way to say gestational period? What's another vocabulary for saying gestational period? Welcome to Zamagar. Not maturity. Yeah, Kamran Hasalov says, is it the period of pregnancy? That's right, it is. It's the pregnancy, yeah. So gestational period is the pregnancy, for how long the mother is pregnant with child. That's right, absolutely. All right, another question. For how long are the tiger cubs completely dependent on their mother for survival? Satisfying times, 6 months or half a year. That's right. Very, very good. All right, here's another last one, and then we'll look at the actual questions in the passage. Why is it important for humans to know the differences between Siberian and Bengal tigers? What's the logic? Why know the difference between these two types of tigers? What's the utility or the usefulness of such knowledge? VM, first out of the gates, very, very good. Yeah, to count the populations, to know how many there are in the wild, we need to know the Siberian and the Bengal. And I'm sure that when they are in the extreme regions of Siberia and India, they look very different, but when they come to a closer proximity, they look more similar. So for conservation efforts, Shamster Depp, that's right, absolutely. Okay, very good. So students, remember that a good way to practice your reading comprehension at home before you sit the IELTS exam is don't always just focus on the reading section questions. You can, of course, do those at any time. But in partners with your classmates, read passages and generate questions. There's a huge utility to doing this exercise, okay? Gets your brain working, more focused, to pick out details, to visualize more. So a very effective reading comprehension practice before you sit your IELTS exam is to A, read a passage with a partner or small group, let's say 3 to 4 people. And then B, generate questions regardless of the reading passage. And you can even make it fun. You can create a game, okay? Okay, you can even make a competitive game where you form teams and then count points, all right? So that's kind of a more interesting way to approach these passages, especially when you start to get bored or tired of just going passage after passage. You need something a little bit more fresh. Okay, all right. So here we go, students. I'm going to jump back to our passage now, and we will look at the questions, okay? Here's our first one. Classify the following facts as applying to A, Bengal tigers, B, Siberian tigers. Okay, this type of question in the reading, especially in the academic, is called a classification question. When you have a reading passage where you have a comparison of two clear categories, so here we have a clear two-category comparison of Bengals and Siberians, there's a very good chance that you will see a classification type question. Okay? Now, a very powerful strategy, especially when they're true objects or true living organisms like Bengal and Siberian tigers, is to visualize them. Okay? So you need to visualize the Siberian tigers living in the north of Russia. Okay? So I'm going to try to just do a quick picture of Russia there, and then you need to visualize the Bengal tigers living in India, Nepal, Bhutan. And I know, don't comment on my drawing. I know it's a funny drawing. Okay? And they look like cats, not like tigers. I get it. Yes, Santa, it looks like your cat. But you need to create a visual picture. Okay? You need to see this clear comparison. And as you read the facts about the Siberian and the Bengal tiger, include that in your visualization. So when you read that the Bengal tiger has a longer fur, then see that longer fur on the Siberian tiger. Okay? When you read the information about Bengal tigers being different sizes, okay, smaller and bigger depending on where they live, then visualize the bigger ones north, the smaller ones south. It's a little tiny tiger, okay? So visualize those differences. So again, create the visualizations and keep adding to them, because that will greatly help you move through the questions and answer with confidence and accurately, okay? Visualization is key to success in the listening and in the reading section, especially for those high band scores. All right, so we have to put A for Bengal tigers, B for Siberian tigers. Okay, here we go. Question number 14. Lives further from the equator. So which tiger lives further from the equator? Is it A, the Bengal, or B, the Siberian tiger? Again, in the space here, you just put the letter A or B. Macpreet says B, as they live in colder regions like in Russia. And Macpreet, you are absolutely right. Mohammed Assad, you are right as well. So everybody who said A, you're wrong. Okay. The correct answer here is B. It is definitely the Siberian tiger. Remember my picture? I don't have it anymore there, but the Siberian tiger was there and the Bengal tiger was down here. Okay. So the equator is somewhere here, or actually maybe a little bit lower. But India is certainly much, much, much closer to the equator. I'm not sure if it's actually on it, than the Siberian. The Siberian lives much further north, okay? So it lives further from the equator. The equator, for those of you who are not familiar with that word, is the line that separates the north and south hemisphere of the planet. Okay? All right, so B was the correct answer there. Okay, has a significantly higher population. So many more of them. Has a significantly higher population for number 15. Bengal tiger or the Siberian tiger for number 15. So many of you are saying that's going to be A, the Bengal tiger. And you're right. My bonus question, how many more? How many more, in comparison, how many more Bengal tigers than Siberian tigers? What's the actual difference? Alvina says, well, there's roughly about 1,800 Bengal tigers versus the 200 to 300 Siberians. Yeah, so 6 to 8 times more, right? So much, much more, Mohammed, than double. Much, much more. Okay, 6 to 8 times more. All right, Number 16 exhibits large size fluctuations depending on geography. Number 16 exhibits large size fluctuations. So it could be smaller, could be bigger, depending on where they live. Okay, for those of you who are answering A, you are correct. Be very careful, students. Not which one is larger. So the Siberian tiger is larger, but here it's size fluctuations depending on geography. Okay, depending on where they live, they're bigger or smaller. VM, this is for academic. So VM is asking, is this for academic or general? This is for academic, but this kind of a reading could easily be a third section in the reading for general exam as well. Okay. All right. Now, if you get a question wrong, so if you're like, I thought that was B because Siberians are bigger, I don't get what happened there, then you can jump to the transcript. It's another nice piece of information that we include. Let me see if, yeah, there we go. So we have the reading transcripts for you in our books, and I don't think I think we might be the only company that gives you reading transcripts as well. Reading transcripts means that we actually show you where answers are coming from. So we show you that in this one, the answer for 3 and 6 are coming from this section. Now I'm going to skip to Siberian tigers here. Okay, so this is our Siberian tigers transcripts, and we're looking for question number I think that was question number 13 or 14. Should have looked at that first. Yeah, 16, sorry. So there you go. So in the back of the book, in the transcripts, you will actually see here for number 16, it says, one notable observation is that the farther north the Bengal tiger's habitat, the larger the animal gets. And then it continues, the average weight of a tiger in northern India is 15 kilograms more than ones in southern India, where the average recorded weight is 220. So that means that a northern Bengal tiger in India is 235 kilograms, okay? So this part here explains that Bengal tigers in South India are smaller, they get bigger when you go north. So again, if you're not sure why you get an answer like A, then look for number 16 at the back of your book in the transcripts and you'll find that answer. Does that make sense, students? How you should use the transcripts for our practice exams to help you figure out what's going on? Does that make sense? I know many of you have our books and have access to our premium course, so that's why I'm asking, and I want to make sure that you're using these extra materials to help you. Okay, cool. Thank you, Satisfying Times. Thank you, Sana, for confirming. Thank you, MacPete. Preet, sorry. All right, so I'm going to jump back to the questions here. And we'll continue with 17. Okay, so question. So first the three are B, A, A. Okay, so again, B, A, A. And question 17, grows no additional fur during different seasons. Okay, grows no additional fur during different seasons. Is it the Bengal tiger or is it the Siberian tiger? A or B? Okay, yeah, A it is. Very good. Be careful of these kind of tricky questions in the exam. So it's not grows additional fur, but it's grows no additional fur. The examiners are making sure that you're paying attention, you're using critical thinking. Yeah, the Siberian tiger grows additional fur in winter, so we know it's not the right answer. Okay, number 18. lives in a climate with large temperature. Lives in a climate with large temperature fluctuations. Okay, which animal for 18? Is it the Bengal tiger or the Siberian tiger? Lives in a climate with large temperature fluctuate. Yeah, of course, it's the Siberian tiger. Good job, Alvina, Hung, Lanthiu. Very good. Yeah, it's the Siberian tiger, right? Very cold winters in Siberia and nice warm summers, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, great. Good job. All right. Okay, students. Let's go to the next question. Yes, no, not given. It's one of the favorite types of questions for everybody if they know the correct strategy for it, right? What's the correct strategy? What's the best way to answer these yes, no, not given questions? Maybe somebody can share a strategy I haven't heard of. What is the best way? Mad Bat, you say, I remember. I'm not sure if you mean by remembering what you read. That's definitely good. Shamster says, scanning for synonyms. Possible, Shamster, although you might not see synonyms because it could be descriptive paraphrasing or grammatical paraphrasing. Mad Bat says, you have to use some critical thinking. Lena says, use logic. Definitely. Logic is very, very good. Lanthiu says, it's important to know the information. Definitely, Lanthiu, I agree. You need about 70% understanding. Just scanning will not help you, Engineering D, because how do you scan for not given? It's not possible. You don't have enough time to scan the whole passage to realize that it's not given. Farhan says, use computer logic strategy. If this, then that. Yes, that's right, Farhan. Very smart. Yeah, using computer logic can really help. So let's do that together. Yes, if the statement agrees with the claims of the writer. No, if it contradicts, if it says the opposite. And not given if we don't know what the writer thinks about it. Both animals are primarily meat eaters. Ask a question. Is this important to know? For this topic on tigers. So is it important for us to know what the eating behaviors are for these tigers, for the topic of tigers? Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's important. I don't know, Shamster, if they both eat wild boars. I think the Siberian one might not. But anyway, it's definitely important to know. Is it true that the animals are meat eaters? That's your next question. So if it's important, yes, it is important, then it must be given. So it's given. Okay, so if it's given, then it's either yes or no. And in this case, both animals are meat eaters, so we know that the answer is yes, and that's how we get the correct answer. So this is the computer logic that Farhan's talking about, and it works very, very well for yes, no, not given. So is it important for the topic on tigers? Yes, it is, so it's given. Is it true? Yes, it is. So another way that you can think about the logic here, if you're looking at it as a flow chart, is, let me draw it up for you. So if you think about it in a flowchart style, you can think about it like this. Here's the question, right? Here's the yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. Okay, so here you have your yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. So then you ask, is it important? If yes, then it's given. If no, then it's not given. And in this case, this is your answer and you just move on. Okay? So this is your step 1 in the logic. Okay? So you ask, is it important? If it's not given. Therefore, you answer not given and you move on. If it is important, you say, yes, it's important, then you know it's given, and you go to your next question. You go to, is it true or is it not? Okay, so you have to ask yourself, is it true? Do these tigers eat meat? If your answer is no, then you end up with no, and then you move on. Okay, if your answer is yes, then you end up with yes, and you move on. Okay, now you might end up with a third type of answer at this stage, which is, can anybody guess? What's my third possible answer here? Well, Mad Bat, it's a good question. So how can I understand if it's important? Okay. You should ask yourself, if you write about the life of 2 tigers, what kind of information will you include in 500 words? Where they live, what they eat, what they look like. Hopefully, I mean, if you're writing about tigers, 500 words, 500 to 600 words, then hopefully you will include that. Farhan, confusion, 50-50. Yeah. So your third possible choice here is maybe. Right? So at this stage where you go with is it true, you might actually end up with a maybe here. Is it important? You might end up with a maybe here as well, right? You could have a maybe at this level. Okay. If you end up with these maybes, that's when you have to search. Okay. Search for synonyms, expressions, and keywords. Okay? But that should only happen 1 out of every 3 or 4 yes, no, not given questions. Okay? If you do not understand the reading at least 60%, Asta, then you need to break it down. You need to go through the reading step by step, grab your dictionary, your thesaurus, start doing translations, and improve your reading comprehension. It's virtually impossible to get over band 6.5 if you do not understand at least 60% of the text, okay? Unless you have a huge amount of luck on your side, but that's, you should never base your test result on luck. Okay, so again, this is the logic or the strategy for yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. First, you decide if it's given or not given, and then you decide if it's true or not, okay? Let's practice this, and it will make more sense, all right? So if you're a little bit confused right now, it's okay. We have a few more questions to go, so we can practice it together, and hopefully you will have further clarity by the time we answer the remaining questions. Okay. So the gestation period for females is about 4 years. Remember, we said gestation means the pregnancy. Okay. So first question, is it important to understand the life of these tigers for how long they are pregnant, or how long? Is that important? Yes, it's important. Yeah, Mad Bat says, yeah, of course. Because the sexual reproductive cycle of organisms is important to understand them. So it's important. Yes, it's important. And is it true? So we know it's given. Okay, so yes, it's important. So it's given. So is it true that the females are pregnant for 4 years? Yagjit or Jagjit? Yagjit? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing some of your names right. You're right. Yeah, it's not true. We remember that it's only 15 weeks. So it's a no. So we put the letter N into the space provided in the answer sheet. Okay? So far we have yes, we have no. We go to the next question. Young tigers need their mother for survival during their first half year. Young tigers need their mother for survival during their first half year. Is that important? Yes, it is. Okay, again, it's part of their life cycle. Is it true that they need their mother to survive for the first half year? Yes, it is. Okay. Now, in the IELTS exam, these questions get more and more difficult as you go along. So it starts easy and then becomes more and more difficult. So keep that in mind also. So if you're going to search, it's usually better to search for these questions here. Okay. Nabaraja, if you're still not clear about my ideas of how I'm using this logic, just send me an email and I'll send you a document that will help you a little bit. Okay. You can also check out a video on our YouTube. So if some students are really confused, you're not getting this yes, no, not given, we have a full HD video, we uploaded in the last month, that's specifically focusing on yes, no, not given. Okay. All right. Okay. So here we go. Yes, they're actually true. Hassan, the IELTS uses true information. Absolutely. Okay. Here we go. Number 22. Killing is a rite of passage which shows a cub is ready to leave its mother. So is it important to know for this passage that for a cub to leave its mother, it needs to show that it's able to kill another animal? Is that important? No, it's not really important because it's too much detail, right? Asta, I didn't see your question, so just write it again. I'll try to catch it. So it's not important. It is, but not in a 500, 600, 700 word passage. It's too much detail, so not given. Okay? And I can see that many students are understanding this strategy because you're giving me the right answers. Okay? All right. Number 23, if a mother gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs, it is common for one not to live past 6 months. Is it important to know for a passage comparing Bengal and Siberian tigers that if there are 1 to 4 cubs born, it is common for one of them not to live past this 6 month? Is that important to know? No, it's not really important, right? It's too much detail. Again, too much detail. It's not given. Okay, now for these last two, let's say, well, Adrian, good for you. You knew those. But how do I really know that it's not given? If I have to search a little bit for this, where should I search? Yes, Ank Eider is asking, is it possible to have a not given answer? Yeah, it's possible to have false, 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 yes. Or yes, yes, no, no, no. Okay? Sorry, it would be yes or no or false or true. Okay? So yeah, it's possible to have yes, yes, no, no, or it's possible to have true, 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 false. Okay? All right? Okay, so where should you search for this? Where should you search for this? If you have to search, where should you search for this? Where in the passage did we see it? Well, if you visualized, then yeah, so Alvina says, well, we should look at the part of the passage which talks about the reproductive cycle of the animal. That's right, Alvina. Yeah, so you still should not be searching the full passage, okay? You should look for where it talks about their reproductive cycles. So here it says, Bengals and Siberians have very similar reproduction cycles. Both tigers reach maturity around 4 years of age, at which time they begin their mating rituals. The females are pregnant for about 15 weeks and give birth to between 1 and 4 cubs. So there we have the 1 and 4 cubs. Each of these cubs weighs about 1 kilogram and will be entirely dependent on their mother for this first 6 months of life. So is there any information there about cubs dying when it's 1 to 4? No. Okay. After that time, they begin learning. Their learning process, where they develop the skills they need to hunt and kill for survival. After 2 or 3 years, the cubs are ready to leave their mother and hunt independently. Okay. Does it say anywhere there that there's a ritual for them to show their mothers that they can hunt before they leave? No. So we are confident that the answers are not given. Okay, so if you have to search, you still need to know where to search. You can't just read the whole passage because you will waste a lot of time and you'll run out of time. You won't be able to finish all 40 questions. Okay, all right. So we have 3 more questions. These are short answers or fill in the blanks. Write no more than 2 words for each answer. Let's do these together. Number 24. Humans are not a part of the tiger's regular what? What do you think is the missing word? And again, for even this type of question, you shouldn't have to look at the passage for every answer. Programmer 1203 says diet. And Shamster Depp says meal. And Mad Bat says food. Yeah, diet is what's in the text. But if you write food or meal, that's okay. They'll give it to you. Those are perfect synonyms. It'll work. You can use perfect synonyms. All right, so diet, food, okay. While not common, the Bengal tigers will resort to something humans, especially if they are unable to process the flesh of other animals. Shamsudev says eating or consuming. Yeah, eating or consuming. Killing, they might not give it to you for just killing, because the tiger is not just simply killing, it's also eating. So eating is, or consuming is the right answer here. So eating. Okay, eating humans. Number 26, attacks by Bengals are often committed in defense of the tiger's what? So what is the tiger protecting? For the last one, number 26. Satisfying Times says cubs. Yep. Please don't put babies. They will not take babies for this. We don't say tiger babies, although that sounds cute. It's an incorrect term. Humans have babies. Tigers have cubs. Bonus question, students. What other animals have cubs in the English language? Tigers have cubs? What other animals have cubs according to the English language? Let's see how many of you have come across this word in other contexts. Lions have cubs. Bears have cubs. Elephant, I don't think elephants have cubs. Lions have cubs. No, cats have kittens. Cats have kittens. Bears have cubs. And I don't see it yet, but wolves have cubs. Yes, MT, I believe foxes also have cubs. No, horses do not have cubs, Macpreet. Horses have, there's another word for it. It's very specific for horses. Joeys, I think, is for horses. Okay. Wolves have cubs. Okay. All right. Very good job, students. So, again, from this lesson, remember to take away this effective reading comprehension practice. Read a passage in groups or in partners. Make a game out of it. All right. Ask each other some questions. Generate questions from your own understanding. Make it a competitive game with points. For lots more reading passages, as well as reading audio, you can access all of our exams at aehelp.com for academic and gieltshelp.com for general. Use the code LIVE20 to get a 20% discount from our premium courses. Or you can even buy our books in hard copy from Amazon. Just search for AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS on Amazon, and you can buy our books in digital or hard copy form there, okay? Mad Bat says, pigs have Peppa and George. That's funny, Mad Bat. My daughter loves Peppa Pig. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Tomorrow, we will continue with speaking part 2 and speaking part 3, strategy and practice, example questions. Patricio, you got 6 on your test. You only needed a band 4.5. That's great. Awesome. I'm happy to hear it, Patricio. Good job. Hung, you are very welcome. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. If it's late in your country, get some rest, get some shut-eye. Wake up tomorrow full of energy and ready to tackle another day. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.